Andy, back at it. Back in the green corner after your time in the red corner. You're all refreshed, and how's it been so far?
Yeah, I'm certainly refreshed. Loving the day job. Yeah, it's great to be back, and what a way to start, eh? Coming out to Chicago for a camp early doors has been great for us at the start of the season, and yeah, what an occasion to kick the international season off.
The Lions is the coaching pinnacle, if you like. What did you learn from the experience, and any new perspectives that you've been able to bring coming back to the day job?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, little bits of detail wise, you're always going to pick up off good players and good coaches how you would do things better, how you would assess yourself, and how you're going to bring that to the day job. So there's always that going on. I suppose the experience in general, you know, is so vast. If you can't learn from that, then you're probably in the wrong spot.
Talk to us about the week out here, building up to this. Like, as you say, what a start to a November series, and what a November series in store. But what have you been looking to get done in the time leading up to the game in terms of work on the training pitch and messages for the team going forward?
Well, we made the decision to come out early. Obviously, we lack of game time for the players and exposure to this level of rugby is obviously a thing, but it is what it is. So to get out here and to get together, and we always say that, you know, when the lads come into Irish camp, there's pressure there within itself, you know, about them trying to gain respect of one another, etc. So training's been great. It's been very thorough. It's been tough. We had a couple of really good hit outs, which will stand to us, because the reality is, you know, we're playing against a world-class side, so therefore a world-class performance has got to be had first up. So obviously our preparation's got to marry that.
You love a challenge, but that challenge of playing a team that have, you know, 9 matches in the bag compared to when Ireland last played, that's a big one. Do you feel that you've been able to get enough work done to be right for the game?
Well, it is what it is, and you know, if we're one that's trying to look for excuses, then we're in the wrong spot. There's always going to be challenges that are going to be thrown your way. You know, we always talk about the uncontrollables. Just get on with it, you know, and let's see what we can do with it. So again, the challenge is playing against a world-class side who's been playing pretty well. Finished level points with South Africa, and everyone's talking about South Africa, how well they're playing, but New Zealand are playing some outstanding rugby at this moment in time. So the challenge doesn't get any better, and I always think all you need is a big opportunity to try and see where you're at, kick on, etc. So there's going to be good learnings for us.
2016, golden memories for anyone connected with Irish rugby, fans and players, and of course you were there in a coaching role.
Yeah.
Have you been able to lean into that and refer to it in the build up to this one? Or is there anything that can be drawn from that amazing experience this time round?
Well, again, I mean, if you stop to think about it, just how lucky you are to come over here and be put into it. I put it in perspective. I was watching the NFL the other night, and it was Kansas City against someone, and I was watching all the players walking in, the fireworks going off, and the stadium's full, and we go, wow, what a spectacle, like, you know. But we're doing that in one of those stadiums on Saturday, so it really doesn't get any better, really. So that's why 16 was so historic, because we know that there's plenty of Irish over here anyway, and there's certainly plenty that's going to be travelling. So to put on a good show on the pitch is down to us. So we're up for the challenge, you know. It's a privilege to be able to put ourselves in that type of situation.
A couple of the players have mentioned that you talked at the start of this camp about turning the page, the new chapter towards 2 years' time and the World Cup. What does that process look like to you in terms of evolving the style? Is it about deepening the squad, or where's your head at with that?
All of those things. I mean, if you're standing still, you're going backwards. So halfway stage now towards the World Cup. So a little bit of where we at, how we're going to get better, because for sure, I mean, everyone will constantly get better between now and the final of the World Cup, and we need to be on that journey. So we need to figure it out where we're at and be honest with ourselves and have the solutions for how we're going to get there. So that's been the mindset. So upping our standards, our preparation, etc. And it's been good to see how we've hit the ground running with that over the last few days.
One of the other sort of plot lines coming into this from the outside has been about the age profile of the squad. You know, it's not people. It's like Dad's Army or something. The way people are talking about it.
Somebody told me that a 31-year-old was old the other day. Like, you know, I thought that was the peak of his powers. But anyway.
Are you relaxed about the age profile, or do you want to see more guys coming in with a younger age profile and challenging the guys who've been in situ?
We have, like, you know, I think we've 12. I think we've a dozen or so new caps since the last World Cup, and you know, we've a young lad making his debut, which is a special occasion for him, Paddy and his family, which is fantastic. A young fella making his debut in this type of occasion, which is pretty special within itself. And you know, with other players that's on the horizon who couldn't make this tour for whatever reason, injuries, etc. So it is what it is. I mean, you know, nobody's telling us who it is that we should be picking, because you know, we're Ireland. We're not South Africa or England, where there's thousands and thousands of players and etc. So we tend to do okay with what we've got, and yeah, the profile is always something that gets talked about. Ability and where those people are at is more important to me.
Jack gets the nod at 10 for the game. What has he done to get the start, and have you looked at the game, the Munster game at Croke Park as a big factor, or is it just the general picture with him in recent times?
Yeah, he seems in a jovial mood. He seems pretty relaxed within himself. He seems like he's had a real good pre-season. You know, I think the tour to Georgia and Portugal was good for many players to reassess where they're at over the summer in pre-season there, and he's come back in great form, and he deserves his shot. He's run the week really well, and he's ready and up for the challenge. And
does that back up would you like to see that him, Sam, obviously the other guys as well, a real battle for that position, or do you want to see somebody taking ownership like Johnny did in times gone past?
A bit of both. I mean, if people are not up for the challenge, then people will take the ownership. You know, that's how it works. But you know, Jack knows that he's in the driving seat here, so he's got to take that opportunity. But it's up to everyone else within the squad, not just Sam or Harry Byrne, who's back at home and who's going to be in the Spanish squad, etc. It's up to everyone to make sure that when their opportunity comes, they're ready to take it. And you know, we're hoping that there's performances across the board that lifts up everyone else's expectation in the squad, and competition for places has to be our best friend.
Finally, let's talk about the opposition. They always seem to get up for Ireland. Certainly the last couple of times with Paris and Dublin last year. People might talk about a couple of games that they lost during the year, but what are the non-negotiables that the All Blacks bring that your team have to be ready for?
I don't think it really ever changes. You know, they're always going to test all sides of your game. You know, to say that a quality attacking side is probably an understatement. So your defence is always going to get stretched and tested, etc. And I suppose they're always going to score points. So therefore, you've got to score points yourself as well. Set piece wise, there was quality last year in that regard, and a real threat, certainly defensive breakdown wise. So we know that we're up against it as far as that's concerned. But that's what we want to be up against. You know, that's where we find out about ourselves even more so. So again, I think they've laid down the challenge to themselves and to everyone else that they're going to play on this tour, that they want a Grand Slam tour, which is great for us all, isn't it?
And you want to make 2025 a bit like 2016 then?
Of course, we'd love that for everyone concerned with Irish rugby.